Hi, Tom Cheddar here again. I have a good friend of mine, longtime friend, and actually way back, Scott was one of my premier students when I first started doing seminars back in the 90s, and we've become great friends and even at one point business partners. Scott's with Profit Boost, and his topic was future trends. Scott, how is that relevant to today? I mean, we're talking about the future here.
Well, ATRA was kind enough to ask me to talk about future trends, and the more I dove into putting this presentation together, the more I learned about what I didn't know, and I decided to look backwards to see where we've been, 60s, 70s, 80s, to see where we may be going, and I learned one thing, and I had a video in my presentation about a simple pit stop of a car, just servicing a car during a pit stop of a race. We've gone from 1 minute and 10 seconds in 1950 to less than 2 seconds today.
Holy cow.
So the trend of the industry, as I see it, is simply speed. Things are getting faster, a lot faster.
Well, Scott, if there were just 3 points that you'd like to emphasize for the folks that weren't there and also for the folks that maybe are thinking about queuing it up and listening to it again, what would the 3 key points be that you might like to emphasize at this point?
Well, with speed being, I think, the number one thing that's making shops move from being not profitable to very profitable, it's the speed. So how do you make the car get repaired quicker from the customer, bringing it in, to the customer, getting it back? There's different ways to communicate today that weren't around 5 years ago, hadn't even been heard of 10 years ago. So how we communicate with the customer, and the different ways that we communicate with the customers via text messaging and video messaging and pictures, the smartphones weren't around. Those tools are available today to speed up the process of getting approvals, to speed up the process of getting the parts, and to speed up the process of getting the technician to get the car fixed and back into the customer's hands. That's probably the number one thing.
Okay, well, I asked for 3, but that sounds like a mouthful right there. Scott, you know, implementation's important too. Your seminar brings ideas out. It also has steps for implementation. What's the first step anyone should take to implement planning for the future?
Well, if you're going to measure speed, the first thing you have to know is where you are right now. Understand 1950 took 1 minute and 8 seconds to do a pit stop on a car at the Indianapolis 500. Now they're down to under 10 seconds. Formula One's down to 2 seconds. So you have to know where you are right now with the speed of things in your shop. And whenever I'm talking speed, I'm talking about technician billable hours. If you don't know how much you're doing now, how are you ever going to get better or quicker or faster? So the first thing you have to do is put something in place, whether it's a time clock, a procedure, or policy to measure how much you're doing so that you can get faster.
So you need a starting point.
Absolutely.
A good, clear starting point, and then you can measure everything against it as you make changes.
That's right. You first know where you are, then you start making incremental changes to see if that change made you faster or slower. If it made you faster, obviously you're going to do more of it. It takes communication with your technicians, communication with your managers. It takes communication with your vendors. It takes communication with literally everything that happens in and around fixing the car.
Well, Scott, you're a real credit to the industry. You've done a lot for us. Tell me in a nutshell, why do you do what you do?
Well, Tom, as you just said, whenever we started, we've been friends since, I think, 1992, whenever I was struggling in a shop and I wasn't profitable. In fact, almost lost the shop. Once I learned how to take a business from literally not making money to a business that turned out to be the largest business in the city that I was doing business in and made a lot of money, I then had the opportunity to go into the software business and help other people and show other people. So I guess there's maybe a common theme about the shop owner that's fixing the car. It feels good to do that. Now that I'm in the software business, it feels good to take somebody who's struggling in a business, help them change the culture of the business, move them to a higher level, because at the end of the day, when it comes to be retirement time, you laugh.
You laugh at me. Like,
Yeah, well,
how many times have I retired?
Yeah, well, I think once more than I have. I tried 10 years ago and then I got into this business, but the reality is is making money is not a bad thing, and it takes money to do the things that you want to do, especially after you're retired. And a business that's not making money has no value. Let's just face it, you can't sell it, you can't even give it away. So helping somebody to make that shift from a business that's not doing well to a business that's really doing well is rewarding.
Well, Scott, I know that you have helped people through your seminars. I know that you helped them through your Profit Boost software company. If the folks have more questions and they'd like to get in contact with you, tell them how to do that.
The Profit Boost website is www.profitboost.com. Our phone number is 888-274-3776. If you dial extension 850, you'll go right into my office manager and he can track me down. Or my email address is scott@profitboost.com. Talk to you anytime and would love to help you out, get involved in your business, and maybe change the culture and help you become a little bit more profitable.
Well, folks, I encourage you to take Scott at his word that he'll help you out, and also to be sure to listen to the audio of Scott's presentation that's right here on the ATRA website. Thanks for listening.